Welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made a mosaic table using vintage plates and bowls. This was such a fun project to do and I can't wait to share it with you guys. The first step to making a mosaic table is to go antique shopping for some beautiful plates. I found all of these plates for $1. I decided to go with lots of floral plates. These ones I found at a thrift shop. They were 50 cents each, then 25% off. These plates were $1 each and then 50% off. And then I also found from the same thrift shop, they had tons of different tiles and things like that. So I found these tiles, which I thought were really pretty. So as far as the table goes, at first I was going to be using the table on the left. However, I was going to need to buy some piece of wood for the top of it and something really thick. However, wood is so expensive right now, so it was going to be about $100 to get a piece. I needed something really thick also so that it didn't bow in, so that's why it was going to be very expensive. So I decided to go with this table that I found in our basement. The old owners had left it and I thought it was just the perfect little table. We weren't using it for anything, so I thought I would go with that. Here's all of the plates that I ended up buying. So the first step that we are going to do to the table is we're going to sand it down. And now if your plates are clear or translucent, you will, after you after you sand it, you will want to either spray paint it or paint it a solid color. That way you don't see the wood through it. So this table is pretty interesting. It has this spinning mechanism in it, and I know that a lot of older tables had this in it because they were used for games. However, I'm not really sure about this one because the table is so small, so I can't really picture it being used for that, but maybe it was. If you guys have any ideas, then let me know. So originally I was going to draw out a scene on the table and then do mosaic on top of it, but I decided to scratch that, but I wanted to still keep that in here just to maybe give you guys some inspo for what you could do to your table. So smashing the plates was so fun. I really enjoyed this. Definitely be careful because there will be lots of tiny little pieces and you could cut yourself very easily, so you may even want to wear gloves. The tiles and thicker plates were definitely a lot harder to smash. It probably would have been a little bit easier if I did it outside on the hard ground. It was raining this day though, so I was inside doing this. But I just took a little bit of extra elbow grease to kind of break all these up. But once I finally got them broken up, I just decided to categorize them by their color. That way it would be easier for me to do the mosaic. They also sell mosaic scissors, I guess you would call them, to cut the tiles into more even shapes. So I can link those below for you guys. I really just enjoyed the hammering of this. I felt like it was just kind of nice to do, and I liked the organic shapes that it came out with. So if you do a tile and a plate, they will be different thicknesses, so just keep that in mind. For me, it didn't bother me. Basically, I just took the tiles and I made flowers out of those. I used the Gorilla Construction adhesive. We use this on all of our projects in our house, and I just had a bunch of tubes that just had a little bit left, so I used that. And then I spread out the glue all over the table, and I took the plates that had pretty designs on it, and I filled in the rest of the table. I had a bunch of extra pieces, so I decided to put those on the sides of the table. So now it is time to fill in all of the gaps on the table with some grout. So I will link below the grout that I used. And it was pretty easy actually. I just mixed the grout in with some water and then I mixed that up and I just started filling everything in. Let me show you guys one last view of the table before we add the grout into it. So I eventually caved in and just used my hands to do it, which was so much easier. However, I will say that the pieces of glass started to cut the glove, and then I didn't realize it, but I was getting all of these little micro cuts on my fingers. I literally can't even use the Touch ID on my computer because I have so many little cuts, so it doesn't recognize my fingerprint anymore. So just be super careful when you're doing this. I went back over this with the spatula just to remove any of the excess grout. So when I was doing the sides of the table, I also decided to rub a very thin layer of grout on the legs. And I know the longevity of this probably won't last very long, but I just think it looks really pretty. So I wanted to just give it a try and just see if it would last and be okay. I think the thinner that you put it on, the longer it will probably last, because I think if it's too thick, it will definitely just flake off a lot easier and kind of chip. So far I haven't had any issues with it chipping off. It's been holding up really great. So after about a half hour or so, I took the spatula and I went back over the tiles to start revealing the beautiful pieces of plates that we have. So this just helped, like I said, to kind of show the plates through a little bit more. So the table has the first layer kind of like scraped off a bit. What I did end up doing was I ended up taking a little bit of water. You guys can see my hands are, it's kind of hard to see, but they're like all cut up. I took some water and I kind of just like patted back over it just to like make it really smooth. And so there's like a little bit of a film over it, but like it comes off so easily. So I think what I'm gonna do is just let this sit overnight and just fully harden and dry. And then tomorrow what I'll do is just like scrape these little pieces off. That way everything becomes beautiful. So I did go over the legs with the grout as well because I just wanted it to all look kind of cohesive. I did a light layer, but as you could see with the light layer, the wood stain is kind of pulling through even on like the corner here. So that's something I did not think about at all. I'm gonna go back over it again with a light coat. I just like how it looks when it's kind of like messy and choppy. I feel like it looks like an older piece. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this to the rest of the legs and then we'll let it sit overnight and we'll see what it ends up looking like in the morning. Look at this sweet little bunny. Oh my goodness. I just always wish I could have them as a pet inside the house, but I love just being able to look at them outside. I don't know if Wilbur would do too well with a bunny. Maybe he would like it. I don't know. But now what I did is I just took a wet cloth and I started to go over each of the tiles to clean them up and to reveal their beauty. So at first I was trying to be very delicate with it because I didn't want to ruin anything. And then later on I realized I could just kind of be rough with the table and fully go over it. This was the next day, so everything was completely dry. And as you can see here, I just started to get a little bit more rough with it and it revealed the beautiful tiles and it didn't harm the grout at all. Last step is to use this tile, stone, and grout sealer. So I just got this from Lowe's. I can link it for you guys. And then I also got this from Lowe's. It was like a little over $3, like $3 and change. It has the foam piece to actually use, and then is the tray. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1, and I think it's going to be a really easy way to apply the sealer. So let's go do that. So now that the table is done, I'm going to set it up. I set it up in front of the Enchanted Cottage. If you guys remember last year, I transformed this old shed into a playhouse for my nieces, so I'll leave that link below. But here is the table. I absolutely love it. I think it turned out so beautiful. I love all the colors on it, and I just love that it feels so old and shabby chic. It's just the perfect spot to have some coffee and relax. I put a little Snow White book there for my nieces to find because I think they'll really enjoy it. That is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do recreate this, be sure to tag me on Instagram. That way I can see your pictures. But I hope you guys are all having an amazing week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.